to be dealt with is actually agentic coding or agentic work patterns, and
Hmm.
that is unbelievably massive. And we're at the starting. That's the race, I think. We're
Yeah.
coming up to the starting gates. We've got our vehicle duct tape and CRC and all that stuff
Yeah.
on it. We got to get using that vehicle and seeing how it goes, and we can add security as it goes. The only security thing I have to add before we launch it is to stop computers seeing into other computers, because you can do that now.
Okay.
So
Mm.
the auth works, but once you're auth in, you can then see, you can, with a few navigatory tricks, you can see inside everyone's computers. So I'll add that bit of auth in, and then we're good, so long as no one brings in malicious software, which, you know, won't take long. But at least it's like gentleman's security. It's like,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
It's good enough for you and I.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's that. I'm pretty happy. It's looking good.
Yeah. So am I actually. I'm quite excited. It just feels like oh, Christmas next week, maybe sort of
Maybe
thing.
sooner. Yeah, maybe sooner. But it'll be. Here's the thing. Off we go. I've looked at also Gemini CLI. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that with very little ado, we can have the Gemini CLI acting and the Claude CLI as agents types that you can fire up, and they will
Mm-hmm.
work just fine because they fit this model. So you can be like GPT-5 Codex, Claude, Gemini, Grok when it finally gets its shit together. Everybody, here you go. And so you can call on a range of different CLI agents for all their fancy bits,
Mm.
and that's the trick, really.
And add more as they come,
Mm.
as they get their shit together. Don't know where DeepSeek is on CLI local.
They might not be worrying. It's more a yeah, it's a harness thing. But if your model's good at it, like it seems to be that that's naturally now what the good target for a model
Mm-hmm.
to be good at is can it drive a CLI?
Mm-hmm.
So so
Right.
that's the software. Sorry it's not working. Things are looking
Hey, no,
great. For the first time, things are looking
it's
great.
getting damn close.
Yeah.
Looking
I
forward to
don't
it.
know why it took so long. I honestly don't. I feel like my ability to forecast time has been shot by agentic coding. Um, it's also got these weird curves to it where it turns out you like labor. You find the trick or the good design, and then suddenly using Codex, you can be like, go, and then you go from like no load to like 10 concurrent tasks, and then you got this mountain of software that got built all of a sudden. So it's a funny game now, man. It really is. Um,
Yeah, I'm not in coding, but in the kind of knowledge space, I'm finding the same. You can wander around. It's like no, it's just nothing there. No, there's nothing there, nothing
mm,
there. But then you hit this seam, and then it's like, hey, there's a gold seam here.
yeah, and then it's like you can call on heavens above basically in terms of the workforce you can muster straight off the
Yeah,
bat, and so it's almost like we need a system where people wandering in the dark can find each other and can leave breadcrumbs, trails, or other illuminating artifacts to let them
there's
find, you know?
yeah. There's to remind us of our erstwhile former chairman and his gold mine and his geologist. It's like what would be useful would be a geologist saying, "Here's a likely place the gold
Yeah,
seam is going to be."
yeah. And I guess that's the art, right? You're probing the mountain, and then you're like, I think I understand where the chances of gold are and where the problems are.
Right, and it
go.
should be here in this problem space.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I've recognized that there's a underlying well, it's almost a theme or a feeling when you're using AI in order to probe a knowledge space. It's not basically code being the same as the knowledge space. In that how you rough hew it is really important, which direction you go,
Yeah.
and then again that acceleration once you get it, it's like 20 minutes later you've
Yeah,
got it.
and like
But
the
finding it is like 4 hours.
yeah, I know. But you can learn a considerable amount now very quickly, very cheaply. So at the start of Interbit, when like there were so many paths that we could have gone down, that was what the salary burn was experimentation down all the feasible paths to narrow it
Yeah.
down. But now with these agents, it's like that's kind of for free. Um, and then you also don't get I don't know what the word is, but like stupid adjacency where you're slashing through the bush and it feels like really hard going. You're like, oh, it shouldn't be this hard. And then you find out that parallel to the path you were cutting through the forest was a highway, but it was like 20 meters over and you didn't know about it. So like AI seems to stop those kinds of problems too. Like I'm every day finding software projects and things that I'm like, oh, that's really good. Oh, that's what I need. And it's
That adjacency problem is quite an interesting one. It
mm,
is a parallel issue, but because everyone's hammering through, it is. I like the analogy. It is like hacking through, the bush,
yeah, I don't know if you've
making
had that
slow
in the bush
progress.
and you think you're lost for sure and then you pop out on a road, like a proper like a
There's a
road with
scene, I think it's in Lawrence of Arabia, where he's going through this desert, and he's sweating and he's close to collapse, and then he sees a large container ship, going past.
right.
And it's like, what? It's like, oh no, that's the Suez Canal. Oh right, okay.
Yeah, right. Um so what to do? I guess that the game is what we got to brace ourselves for really is this issue of how to code or how to command agentic, which is not. It's gonna be one of those forever problems. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Um,
yeah. So look, the software. You haven't corrected me in any of the designs that I've put forwards. Like you haven't. Sorry, not haven't corrected me. You haven't noticed or spotted any flaws or faults or wrong directions. So
that's
that
correct.
thing that we've been talking about will arrive momentarily, and then we'll sit down and go, now what? So, um, yeah, weird progress curves, especially on this one because it was like infrastructure, cloud infrastructure, internet proxying, lots of proxying, the Linux process tree, Docker images with packages, terminal operations. Like it was like a lot of things.
Yeah, but
Like a
there's
lot of things
there's
together.
an interesting lesson here in how twitchy working in Codex or agentic for coding or exploring a knowledge space is. Um, in that small perturbations can take you off in one direction very fast. It's a bit
Yeah,
like flying a jet airplane, I guess.
yeah. You can
Um,
you can you
and
can lose
how do you
control.
predict it? How do you predict
Yeah, you can lose
in the first
control
order
very
thing?
quickly, and it looks like you're almost there, and then suddenly you're not, or
Yeah,
like it falls apart for some reason. But typically, I guess you would find those things after like a year's worth of work, but that just seems to happen like as a weekly thing with,
yeah,
um,
yeah. That's what I'm
with
getting at.
code assistants. You're like, oh fuck. And
It's
so
like you
what
could
I
be flying
want,
in a Cessna, or you can be flying in a jet. Yeah, they both make the same travel over the ground. One's much slower, That's much faster, and so small changes, you go off very fast.
Mm.
Sorry, go ahead.
But
It's
yeah,
just an
the
observation.
issue the issue has become like, yes, you got this jet. Yes, you can get there real fast. But the same problem in a Cessna and a jet, when you get there and you realize you're in the wrong location,
Yeah.
you the jet you just got there faster, and so you might still make your appointment because you can do another couple more journeys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
But it's
true.
also like in the
Yeah.
Cessna, you thoroughly check where you're going because you can't afford to be wrong, and so your errors are less. You don't
Yeah.
attempt to fly as far. Like you're like, oh no, let's leave that opportunity. We can't afford that. That's too hard. That'll take forever. So there's like this weird
Have you found
counter.
you go? I don't know whether this is true or not, but when you've been doing this, have you found that there's a possibility of going wrong much faster as well as going right much faster? Is that true?
Absolutely, I think that's the
Hmm.
benefit of it. You can go wrong really quick, which is great because you were gonna go wrong slowly anyway because that's what looked like the best path. So you took it,
Yeah.
and then it turned out to be wrong, and you're like, oh my goodness, what else can I do? So it's not bad. It's just soul crushing, I guess. Like someone who'd never coded the old way might not notice it, and they're just like, yeah, this is just it. But
Hmm.
someone, like when you've coded the old way, and then suddenly you're just like binning what would have taken like years for humans to make, and you're like, out, wrong way. You're like, oh man. Um, anyway,
It's fascinating actually. I think there's new paradigms to be understood here, but
yeah,
I'm
but I
sure
think
we'll
this
discover them.
is the mind pit now, right? Because the thing I want is I want to be able to have independent architectural paths going where like, so I just explained how I can go down a path, realize it's wrong much quicker. I want to be able to take on purpose 5 different concurrent paths
Mhm.
on purpose so that when I error, I'm not, like my chance of finding the best option is greatly enhanced and the time reduced.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
swarm that I want.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll make the thing and then we'll see if the thing works. So I got 2 topics to cover tonight. I'll stop recording so we can choose one.
Okay.